Alright, welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a minute with one of these sit down videos, so I just wanted to switch up the background, and just made it a talking video this time. And today, what I want to talk about, it was something that I've been on my mind for a while, and then seeing a post on Instagram, and I'm gonna show you the post actually over here. And seeing that post on Instagram, it just really got me thinking more and more about it. And it's this idea of trusting the process and what that entails when we say, oh, just trust the process. And the post, it says, trust God and not the process. And I feel like that's a weighty statement, because it gives some insinuation that when we say trust the process, we are not trusting God. And to a certain extent, I agree with that. And I think that when you say trust the process, I don't feel like it's beneficial for you or me, because everybody's process is gonna be different. Everybody's journey is gonna be different. There may be like 3 people on the same journey to become singers, and everybody's journey is gonna end up different. Everybody's gonna reach their success differently. There may be similar things that happen, but everything is not gonna be exact. And I believe that in this culture, social media does a lot of influencing and basically instructing how we make our decisions. And you got all these things. You have people's, like, all that infographics, all these people's like testimonies, people speaking about Clubhouse about how they came up. You got people on YouTube. It's just so many facets, mediums of social media, and people just telling you how they did it and how you should do it too. And I'm not saying that, I don't believe there's anything wrong with people sharing their journey and process, but I feel like what happens as a result is, instead of people seeing their process and taking wisdom and taking the idea like, hey, I could do it too, like, or like it giving motivation to you to pursue that field, I feel like a lot of us, including myself, we see their life as an instruction manual as opposed to just seeing it as inspiration. And that's when it's an issue, because nobody has it figured out. And the fact that they got it that way doesn't mean that you are gonna get that success the same way. You have all these master classes like, oh, do these 5 steps to improve your marriage. These are the 10 things you need to do to be a successful YouTuber. This is how you become an entrepreneur in 2021. And it's just like, it's an overload of information, and that information, I feel like, is taken as fact, like, you know, as opposed to this is just my journey and take what you can from it. So when I hear trust the process, what I'm actually hearing now, and after I've just like been reflecting on my journey, is just like, when you say trust the process, I believe that you're actually saying trust the formula that you're doing, i.e. the work that you're putting in is going to give you this amount of success. And I'm not saying do not work, and I'm not saying hard work doesn't get success. I'm saying that we're following people's processes to the T to get the same type of success, and like, that's not really something that's not beneficial, because it basically causes not only you to get frustrated when you don't get that result, but it also creates comparison within you, saying like, oh, I did all the steps, why am I not getting the results? Why am I not getting the followers? Why am I not getting the engagement? Why am I not getting the money in my account? And I'm just thinking, what if you were meant to get the success but not get it by the way in which you're doing it now? And you have to look throughout the whole Bible. Like, God does not deal with any of us the same. Yes, we go through similar things, but he does not deal with us the same. He deals with us on an individual basis. And I feel like when we say trust the process, it's kind of believing like there's a formula that we could follow and that we could adhere to so that we could just get success. And it also it takes away the trust in God and actually puts it on your works or what somebody else did, and it kind of essentially makes an idol of your works, and that's the opposite of faith. And while I was thinking about this video, I was thinking about this verse in Proverbs. I think it's Proverbs 3 verse 5 through 6. I'm gonna look it up right now. Yeah, it's Proverbs chapter 3 verse 5 through 6, and it says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your path. Oh, and I'm gonna add this. This is verse 7. Do not be wise in your own eyes. And I'm just gonna cut it there. There's more verse, but yeah. And this verse came to me because I feel like in this era of so many people becoming entrepreneurs and people having businesses and using social media as a platform, I feel like a lot of people are pushing the agenda of the hustle. That's the word, the hustle mentality. And I believe that you should be working, but I don't believe in working in vain and toiling in vain. And I feel like the energy that I get is, yo, what's stopping you? You gotta do this, you gotta do this, you gotta do this to get your bread. Like, and it's very forceful. And I feel like it's so easy to be like, oh, let me trust what they're saying because they have money. So let me trust what they're saying versus what God is saying. Like, for example, most people would be like, in order to become an entrepreneur, start your side hustle while you have a 9-to-5. Put the money that you're getting from your 9-to-5 into your side hustle, and when your side hustle makes more money than your job, that's when you quit and transition to your side hustle full time. And that makes sense. Like, that makes sense, and that may work for some people. But to say that that's the only way that entrepreneurship works is like false. And the fact that you don't believe that God will call people out of their jobs before they have a plan and still call them be entrepreneurs is also false. I feel like we have to stop like speaking for God and saying like, this is what God will want you to do versus this. God moves in both ways. I'm telling you, sometimes obedience makes absolutely no sense. And that's the point. Faith means that you're trusting in something that you don't see but you believe. You're trusting in God's character to see you through in this. And I feel like when we trust the process, we are putting trust in our own works and trust in our own self, and like diminishing the trust that we have in God. Like, what happens when you do all the steps excellently? I'm not talking about like did crap and you just wanted to yield a good result. But what if you did it excellently and you still didn't yield the same results as somebody else who did it? Like, what then? So I feel like just to avoid that conflict and that frustration, I feel like instead of consulting people and what their journeys and what their masterclass is saying and what their podcast is saying and what their clubhouse is saying, I think the best thing that we can do, especially in this time, because it's just like an overload of information, is to just go to God. He is the creator of your process. So just ask God, like, hey God, should I do this? Should I take this masterclass? What should I take from it? Because he is the creator of your journey. So I feel like, me personally, I'm not gonna be trusting in the process per se. I'm gonna trust in God and trust him that he has me on the correct process and he will reroute me. Ultimately, it's in God's hand. And if it's not in his will, it's not gonna work. But if it is in his will and you're putting in the work and he told you to do it, of course it's gonna work, because his word never comes back void. But I just want to say that trusting in God could like literally just save you like a bunch of heartbreak and a bunch of like frustration and things like that. And I had to learn this the hard way. That working hard doesn't always equate to the success or yield the fruit that you want to see. And I believe we should start working smart versus hard. And what I mean by that is, I feel like working smart is acknowledging God and what the work that you're doing, and making sure that He is ordained for you to work on what you're working on now and guide you. Because I feel like when we just take it by the reins ourselves, we end up like trying to make our own way and force ourselves into certain areas where God may not even wanted us to be there. He may not even have wanted us to yield that type of fruit. So I feel like, yeah, just before we start yelling and screaming and telling people trust the process, I feel like we should like reevaluate what that actually means and the weight that it carries. And me personally, I'm gonna just be telling people, yo, talk to God. Cause imagine telling Job, you lost all your kids, all your wealth, everything, and you started getting boils on your body, telling him trust the process. Imagine telling Sarah, she like 90 years old, God told her that she's gonna give birth to a child. Imagine telling her trust the process. I feel like ultimately we are just working and walking through the journey that God has ordained for us. So instead of just trying to work our way out of the confusion or out of the lack of fruit, because things are gonna not make sense. Be like, yo, God, what's it? What's next? What's the next move? What should I be doing? What am I doing wrong that I'm not yielding the success that I should? And acknowledge Him. Because I'm telling you, there's certain reasons why you're not being successful in what you're doing. God may not even want you there in that field. He may not even want you. He may be training you for even something bigger than what you're actually trying to yield fruit from. And it's just like, these are the things that you figure out when you're in communication with Him and you're speaking to Him and you're trusting that He knows best for you. So yeah, before I continue rambling on, that is what I just want to speak about. Trusting the process versus trusting God, and can we do both? I don't know if we could do both, but like, let me know in the comments below if you think both could happen at the same time. And yeah, that is all I have for today. Don't forget to give me feedback in the comments. Share it. It could be a conversation starter. Let me know again if you like this video. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. And then until next time, I'll see you.